May have confused that with another hominin.
I'm smarter than I look.
Me too. I'll leave you two lovebirds alone.
Maggie returns to her station, primarily to eavesdrop.
Isn't she the sweetest thing?
She has some vestigial sweetness left over from her distant youth.
Maggie noticed only by Dan, makes a mad face at him. Maybe even sticks her tongue out.
I just love how you writers talk.
I prefer writing, much less personal interaction.
Diana puts a roll on her plate, then picks up her big purse from the floor and pours the remaining rolls in her purse.
Would you like a roll?
No thanks.
Starving actor is not just a phrase. Not in my house. Well, my small apartment. Between rolls, I like to...
That's funny, between rolls.
What's so funny?
Thought you were talking about between the bread rolls.
Why would that be funny?
Wordplay?
Plays have too many words already. I like movies instead.
Have I seen you in anything?
Seen the latest Transformers?
No.
I'm collateral damage.
You die?
I'm crushed by a falling robot. Of course, the falling robot was digitally added later. I did get to emote for a few seconds on the green screen. No! And then I get crunched. Still, a line is a line. I use that line to ward off men, too.
It certainly works on me.
I don't think I'll need to use that word on you.
Other words work too. I'm easily dissuaded.
Luckily for you, I'm easily persuaded.
Acting must be hard.
You wouldn't believe the amount of rejection.
I might.
I once tried out for The Bachelor. The casting agent said that I was too ripe. Wasn't that the nicest thing to say? I wrote that in my diary.
I'm no show business insider, but...
It means too sexy. They didn't want me to overshadow the other girls.
We're willing to marry a stranger?
Aren't we all strangers when we marry?
Surprisingly philosophical, but very accurate.
I've had a few husbands, par for the course in Hollywood. You?
One wife, but she died.
Of natural causes?
You have been on CSI. I'd rather not talk about it.
I was on CSI, but only as a dead body. The bloating was my own idea. They won't let you come back a second time once you died the first time.
Lazarus did.
That went right over my head. Was that a witticism? If so, cut it out.
Of course.
Can I tell you a little secret about my Bachelor audition?
Can I stop you?
Maybe someday you'll be in my diary too.
The PG section?
Let's hope not. My secret is that I wore a push-up bra in the Bachelor audition. Not that I need one.
Ripeness is all.
Be nice to me and I might give you a little peek.
Be nice to me and give me a running start.
Did you know that a laugh is like an orgasm?
If it is, I don't laugh enough.
You are missing my point.
That they're involuntary? That they're both honest physical reactions? They both can be enjoyed alone?
Jeez, you're quick.
I've heard that before. Depends on the context.
Oh, I like a funny man, but not too funny. It's just the focus away from me.
I don't see how that's possible.
I like compliments. Some say narcissism is a pejorative word.
It is.
In Hollywood, narcissism comes with the territory. If actors don't practice it, who will?
The writers.
I went out with a film critic for a while. Pejorative was almost his middle name. We didn't last long together.
I'm sorry.
He saw a movie where I had a speaking part.
On the contrary, you have a mellifluous voice.
I think that's a compliment.
It is.
I like to be complimented about non-body parts.
Maggie returns with a bear claw on a small plate and gives it to Diana.
A bear claw on the house, sweets to the sweet.
It's you who's sweet. See how fast I am?
I would prefer to be called urbane rather than sweet.
I don't know what that is.
Think of George Clooney.
Oh, sure.
Diana, you can stop thinking about George Clooney now.
Well, you started it.
That's why I would prefer to be your baby,
You have to be yourself.
said the actress.
I'm not acting now. You act like an actress is beneath you.
I didn't mean that.
Play your cards right, and an actress may be beneath you. Hey, don't look so reticent. I'm not going to bite you. Not now, anyway.
Dan looks up quickly and desperately at Maggie. He twirls his fingers at Maggie, and she deliberately misinterprets by waving back.
Such poor service here. When you need them, they're never around. That applies to most men too, but not at the moment, you sexy man.
Dan twirls his fingers at Maggie's direction again. Maggie cups her ear at the distant sound from the kitchen.
My, is that a phone in the kitchen?
Maggie spins and walks off stage.
That wasn't a phone call. That wasn't a phone call at all. Did you hear a phone ring?
No, but I might have heard wedding bells.
Jeez.
When you get her attention, order me the lobster.
I don't think lobster is on the menu.
Okay, just order me whatever is the most expensive.
The caviar sandwich.
I had caviar at a Hollywood party once. Too salty. I had to discreetly spit it into my purse.
I hope it didn't ruin the canapes in your purse.
You know me so well. And I hope I can know you well too, mind reader. Read my mind now. I hope you don't mind X-rated mind.
I'm more of an R-rated kind of guy. Yeah. Some nudity and implied sex.
Implied? How does implied sex work in real life?
A conundrum.
I always insist on a conundrum.
Gee, the new words keep piling up.
Maggie re-enters. Dan whirls his finger at her, and she finally consents to come over.
Your wish is my command?
I can imagine. I can imagine. Get it?
Yes, how about some service?
Lights go down, lush music comes up.
Oh no.
Maggie freezes. Dan pulls his whirling finger down, but not enough time to stop Diana's solo fantasy, presumably about Dan.
Not that kind of service. I'm not good at servicing.
Oh, you dirty boy, come to mama.
The mama part doesn't help.
Diana stalks Dan around the table, her hips gyrating in time with the music, more than vaguely sexual.
This isn't mutual. This isn't a mutual fantasy.
Yes, mutual ecstasy.
Diana reaches one arm out to him, but Dan tucks inside her grasp, lifts her arm, grabs her, twirls her hand, and gets her finger to not go in time with his own. Lights come back up, lush music goes down. Diana's fantasies fade. Dan takes her back to her chair.
I had the nicest little daydream about us. We...
Maggie, please.
Maggie raises her hand and twirls her finger in unison with Dan. Lights go down, lush music begins. Diana freezes. Maggie walks over to the table where Dan is standing.
Maggie, don't tease me.
Everybody else seems to be. You two are getting along very well.
If we got along any better, I'd have a hickey. Jealous.
A little. May I set the fantasy?
Please do.
We are walking home at night from a concert in the park.
May I take your hand?
Please do.
They walk hand in hand.
It's a nice night.
It is with you.
Dan walks into a spider web and claws his face with his free hand.
Really? A spider web? Why do you have so much imagination?
I'm good at imagination. You may thank me later. Is that a bat?
I have an imagination too.
Not helping. You need to set the mood quick. These fantasies are in real time. There are 3 people back in my restaurant. Well, Diana's probably beginning to thaw out quickly. You've got to get back there soon.
Dan and Maggie have a walk on a path around the back where they were, and back to the table.
Oh, we're at your door.
I would ask you up, but I'm frigid.
Not helping.
I would ask you up, but I'm trying not to be so promiscuous.
Still no, but there is some vague promise and a light at the end of the tunnel.
It's been such a nice night. I hate to go in.
You got a spider web on your shoulder.
Just Kiss me.
Dan and Maggie kiss, then pull back.
Maybe we have time for just one more kiss?
Said the good kisser to another good kisser.
Dan and Maggie kiss again. This time, it's a longer kiss.
I hate to suggest this due to our time constraints.
Getting frisky.
No, that we end the fantasy.
Maggie twirls her finger, and Dan reluctantly does too. Lights come back up, lush music goes down. Maggie discreetly leaves back to her post, and Dan sits down.
I had the nicest little dream about you, and it sure wasn't PG. Suddenly, I'm in the mood for something sweet. Maybe we could leave and go get some desserts. Maybe Sweet Frog.
The ice cream place?
No, the Sweet Frog place.
You are the strangest woman.
Lights go down, Diana and Dan leave the stage. Scene 3. Scene 3. Lights come up, Maggie is at the door as Dan enters.
Here for your last internet date?
Is it a good sign that she didn't include a picture?
What are her interests?
She likes cooking, but isn't good at the gourmet meals. She likes romantic comedies.
Who doesn't?
I don't. The endings are too packed. The two who are meant to be together are artfully held apart until the end.
Oh, she sounds perfect. Let's sit for a bit until she comes in.
Maggie and Dan walk over to the table and sit.
How did your last date end up?
Well, after the frog's legs, we went back to her place. She was very insistent. It's just down the street. I didn't know how to say no.
Before I was married, I had the same problem. After I got married, no became easier and easier to say. I even added a few hell no's.
She said she was going to get some drinks, and when she came back without them, I could see right through her.
Right through her negligee.
Yes, I had to battle for my virtue.
As I've gotten older, I find I'm out of opportunities, out of practice, and out of virtue. I haven't had too many such battles recently. Oh, a few skirmishes, but more hasty retreats.
It was hard to leave a nearly naked woman. I'm afraid that I hurt her feelings. I was thinking more about my feelings. My feelings for you. Maybe once I get this last date out of the way.
Maybe she's the perfect one for you.
I already like someone who's imperfect.
Did you hear that?
Hear what?
Somebody just came in.
Send her away.
I'll say that you came down with a disease.
Judging by the menu, it's probably scurvy.
Maggie goes off stage right.
My, don't you look nice in your nurse's uniform, but I think he likes the blue collar type.
Maggie re-enters and takes off her apron, throws where the menus are, and then strides over to where Dan is, and she sits.
Don't get up. I'm Maggie Martin.
I'm Dan Sullivan. You don't look at all like your picture. I've never seen a mugshot at a dating site.
I think I look better in the profile shot.
Some speed dating.
I don't mind.
Married.
Used to be. Widowed.
Yes. Eavesdropper.
Yes, but not proud of it. Writer.
And purportedly funny.
Definitely.
Complex.
Yes.
Good kisser.
So I've been told.
In your dreams.
More like in my
Are
fantasies.
you up for another fantasy?
Sure, I've sent the cook home and locked the door.
Twirl your finger.
Will this take long?
Yes. It's a falling in love montage.
Marvelous.
Lights go down, lush music comes up. Maggie and Dan rise and recreate a brief dancing and kissing fantasy, then the walking fantasy. Lights go down into the play.